wanted to review and talk, well, not review, just tell you about this book from Annette Simon. Bleiben will ich, wo ich nie gewesen bin. It's about the psychology of East Germans. And what I find really touching is how it reminds me that this whole structure of humanity, it's not just this white people and the rest kind of shit. It's what I like about this and experiencing and living in Germany is to see structurally how Eastern Europeans, Western Europeans are dealing with a lot of the same kind of crap that I'm experiencing and see as well in terms of diaspora and power dynamics and hegemonic frustrations. It's just complicated. But this book title, which I find is very beautiful, titled I Want to Stay Where I've Never Been. This is from a poet, first published in Germany in 1977. It goes, Was ich habe, will ich nicht verlieren, aber wo ich bin, will ich nicht bleiben, aber die ich liebe, will ich nicht verlassen, aber wo ich lebe, da will ich nicht sterben, aber wo ich sterbe, da will ich nicht hin. Bleiben will ich, wo ich nie gewesen bin. Translated directly, says, I don't want to lose what I have, but I don't want to stay where I am, but I don't want to leave those I love, but I don't want to die where I live, but I don't want to go where I die. I want to stay where I've never been. And that's the title of the book. I want to stay where I've never been. I mean, that just hits me right in the guts. I want to stay where I've never been. What is home? How do I even feel homesick in a world like this today? Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, thoughts on the book. I mean, I just had a quick read through with the translation after the first chapter. I'm not German, East nor West German. I've lived in Germany for coming up 5 years now. And within that time, I've lived on East and West German Berlin. Obviously, so much has already been transformed and gentrified and barely gives a reminder of what it was before. But in the psyche of the people, particularly some of the older generation, you can still see and get an understanding of some of that trauma that is still held. During the first bit of COVID, I was struggling with asthma, and I needed to get some of the asthma spray, which for some reason is available for prescription only, like as if we're gonna go and abuse that shit, the simple necessity to live, you gotta go get a permission from a doctor. And on top of that, it was a lockdown, and there was maybe even a holiday. Either way, it was a catastrophe. I couldn't even go to a regular GP to pick up prescription to get this drug, of which, by the way, is available in China, in a communist country. I think the same product that is manufactured in Australia is available without prescription at a pharmacy that are open 24 hours a day throughout the city in the country for I think $1 or $2 US dollars. You know, I think I bought 2 or 3 just to have it. That poor lady who worked in the pharmacy was just sleeping. You know, she had the night shift, and I was coming in heaving and barely able to breathe, and you could just buy it any time of the day. Anyway, so I had to go to the ER because that was the only place open, and I was tired of suffocating. And I go to the hospital. Luckily, I'm insured now in Germany, but it still took forever. And when I went in there, instead of just being able to deal with the issue, you know, I mean, I had Phoenix come along to hopefully be a translator, but they refused for her to come with me because of COVID, right? Makes no sense. So I'm sitting there alone, and these, I would say, very, you know, well, I can understand and see, old East German ladies. And I have to say, this is not the first time that I've dealt with East German women working in the health industry who are so fucking abusive. You know? So I'm there, and instead of just getting on with the issue at hand, they're looking at me and they're like, why are you here? It's like, why am I here? It's like, yeah, it's COVID. Why are you here? You're not allowed to be here. And then like, excuse me? You know? I think you're misunderstanding the idea of a lockdown with no Asians allowed. This is fucking absurd. And then they start getting up at me as if I'm the abusive one, because apparently they're sick and tired of oppressors like me who forces them to speak other languages, like the Russians. And I'm like, darling, I am not your Russian trauma. Okay, I'm sorry that happened to you. I am not the DDR, I am not the Stasi. Like, I'm trying to get I'm suffocating, and I'm trying to get an asthma spray. I'm not even getting the asthma spray from you. I just need you to dish me out this piece of paper. But, you know, this book, very well written, very honest, by a psychoanalyst, sorry. And the looking at the frustrations and the traumas and the way that the East and the West are having to come together and their perceptions of one another and all the projections, and oh man, I just think we've got so much nightmares and coping mechanisms and all these issues that's not even to do with us, and then it just passes on. We don't know how to deal with it, and we start saying crazy shit to one another. Anyway, that's a pretty random story, nothing to do with the book, but highly recommend it. It's not available in English, at least. Continue from this next one. It's not available in English, but you can get the German version and do like me. You just get Google Translate or whatever translate you want these days. It's so fast, instantly. I was just reading the book from my phone taking a picture works perfect. It's written very succinct, direct, honest, easy. Translates well. Check it out. Yeah. These German frustrations. There's also chapters that goes into extreme right wing, left wing. Just this split. This horrible psychic splitting. Oh man. Left wing, right wing, like I'm so tired of all of this post French Revolution crap. You know, it's binaries. The good will triumph the evil. What a boring, repetitive fucking discussion. So over it. But yeah, what a beautiful day. Well, I hope you're having also a good day wherever you are out there.